Okay, now we want to deal with the base plate top if you're the person that has been chosen for that. So again, you're going to want to have access to the base plate drawing that's in the curriculum. And the base plate top is the most confusing piece of this. And they also have hole sizes on the drawing version of this that is annotated. So we've got all those hole sizes that we have to figure out. Those are in like two different weird places in the curriculum, but hopefully this video will help get you through that. So of course, first off, let's make sure we are in inches, and if you are not, under document settings, we can change that to inches. Okay, I'm already in inches. I've already saved this as base plate top in my Trammel toy folder, and then I'll go up to File, where I can say, or wait a second, I'll go to Assemble, and we will do a new component. And I'm going to name this again base plate top. Okay, and I want to build this in the orientation that it's going to be used. So I'm going to right away select the bottom plane first, and I want to select a center point rectangle. So we'll go ahead and put those dimensions in of 4.25 inches. I'll finish the sketch. I'll go ahead and extrude that. And I'll extrude that up a distance of, let's see here, how far is that going to be extruded? 0.24. Okay. Next thing I want to deal with, and I like to do this in phases here. I've got this, I'm going to select the top face, and I have a square hole, so I'm going to just go ahead and draw a rectangle. And then I also have a rectangular cutout, so I made sure I was on the edge there, and I just went ahead and dimensioned those initially. And, or drew them initially. Now we'll go ahead and go back and dimension those. So from the left to right, that dimension is 0.406, and the width of that square is 1.25. The distance from the bottom edge is also 0.406, and the distance for the height of the square is also 1.25. The length of the rectangle up top is 2 inches, and it is a 1/2 inch across. And the bottom edge of that rectangle to the bottom of the component here is 3.25 inches. Okay, so that gets me all of or it gives me the square and the rectangular cutout. And as I'm looking at that, that looks to be, now that 2 inches a little bit too far. I must be 1.75. So we'll go ahead and fix that. I think that dimension is actually missing from the drawing. So we'll probably have to go back and fix the other part as well here. But so we've got that sketch completed. So now I'll go ahead and pick those two and select those as a cut extrusion distance all. And I might have to flip the direction on that so it'll cut down. So I say OK. And now I have the basic shape. Now I'm just going to need to put all those holes in. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do a sketch on that top face again. And in order to do that, probably would be easiest if I drew a construction line. So I'm going to change my tool to construction line, and I'm just going to eyeball a square at the top, and I'm going to eyeball a square at the bottom, or a rectangle here. And notice that those come in as dashed lines, as construction lines. So now that'll help me position these points a little bit easier. So I'll go and start adding my dimensions. The distance from the bottom edge is 2.75 inches. And then this distance here is 3.875 inches. And my distance horizontally for that is 0.375 inches. And that's 1.5 inches from the edge. And let's see, I would have those same dimensions at the bottom from here to here. 0.375 inches. 1.5 inches from the edge. And the way it's in the drawing, that's 2.75 inches. Let's see, 3.875 inches. Okay, so that'll give me the ability to select those corners of those squares that I've dimensioned to position the holes, although the holes are a lot of different crazy sizes. I've got one more point that I need to put on there. And that would be, I have a point up in here somewhere. Now I want to be careful. If I put this here, that might make it constrained to that edge. So I don't want to constrain it there. Let's just eyeball that so it's not constrained. And then that hole from the left side needs to be, or the right side needs to be 0.875 inches. And the location of that hole from the bottom is 2.875 inches. Okay, so that gives me that will give me all my hole locations, so I can finish my sketch. And now I'm going to need to look at the hole measurements, because some of these are the same sizes and some of them are very, very different sizes. So let's see what I'm going to need here. And be a good idea to save this in case my computer crashes. So I'm going to go ahead and select the hole tool from that sketch. Let's see, that one there is and we can't see because my face is hiding the dialog box. That one there is 0.177 inches in diameter, and it's going to go through all. And let's see, I also have that hole is the same size, 0.177, this hole, and this hole. So there are 4 holes that are 0.177. So we'll go ahead and drill those, and when I did that, you'll notice my sketch disappeared. So I'm going to expand my browser and come down and make my sketch visible again. So now we'll go ahead and do some more holes here. So now let's see here. Again, I'm doing a simple hole, so that one and that one there are both supposed to be 0.191, 191 thousandths. So I'll go ahead and say OK on those two. And I've got a couple more holes that are similar. These top corners here, those are supposed to be 0.23. And we'll go distance all. And then the final hole to be drilled is supposed to be a diameter. Of course, we want to go distance all and a diameter of 0.2. So I'll go ahead and make that a 0.2 inch diameter. And now that I have saved this, everything is correct. I can now make my sketch hidden again by clicking the eyeball so I'm not looking at that sketch. Okay, so there we go. Now we've got the base plate top.